motion. Also, as a note, the proceedings of this meeting are being both recorded and broadcast. So you're able to see us here for those of that are here. And for future reference, the fourth Thursday, you can always tune in and watch what we're doing.
It's a thrill.
Yes, there you go. On the agenda for this evening, we have an area variance application for Blake. Is that you pronounce it Blake? Perfect. And the continuation of the interpretation for Cornerstone of Rhinebeck. So we'll start with Blake. If you could just kind of give us a rundown, an explanation of why you're here and what you're hoping for us to help you with.
We're here for the square dance competition.
So my name is Kathleen Blake, and I've owned the property at 132 Old Bull's Head Road for the past 11 years. And this is my husband, Jeff Silverman, who, full disclosure, is the one who completed the application, and that's why it looks so nice, because I would not have been able to do that. But I'll let him talk to the details, but the long and short of it is that I've always wanted to put in an in-ground pool. And this might not be the smallest property in the town of Clinton, but it's close. We're a non-conforming acreage, so we only have 0.49 to work with. And beyond that, we are a very vertical property, so there are only 2 flat spaces on the entire lot, other than where the house is situated. And one is where we want to put the pool down in the lower yard, and the other one is where the septic field is. And nobody wants to dig there. So I'll let Jeff speak to any other questions that you have, because he's better at that.
Yeah, I think that's really the high level. We'd like to put in a pool, and given both the size of the property and sort of the general topology, the other structures that are there, and the location of the septic pad, there's really only one place that it can go. And fortunately, that one place is sort of kind of a private place. Russ, you're at our property, so you'll be able to relate. When you pull into the parking pad, it's sort of at a certain level, the same level as the house. And then it slopes off towards the wood line in the back, near the back part of the property. And that provides sort of a natural privacy barrier. And it's at the bottom of that slope in a nice flat area back there where we want to put the pool. So
it gives privacy for us, but it also gives privacy to the neighbors who may not want to see our swimming pool. And I think it's important to note that our street has a lot of walkers because we're a dead end. And so it's like a great spot to walk your dog, and it really has that pastoral feel. And the importance of where we're putting the pool is that it doesn't detract from that, because again, when you're walking along the road, you really won't be able to see it.
at all. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if there was another place to put it, we certainly would. But there just isn't. So what we're trying to do is find, the ideal size of the pool. We think we've got that. The ideal placement of the pool, we've got that. But just the nature of the property and the setback requirements, require us to be here in front of you. So that's pretty much it.
All right, makes sense. Russ, do you have the planning board notion? And do you want to just turn your mic on? Push the middle. There you go.
So the planning board sent a reply to the visit of the folks there, and I think you folks can sit down. I don't think it's...
Yeah, you can sit down.
We'll go for a little bit of a discussion, then we'll start asking you questions again.
So, I don't know if you want me to read the planning board. They did send a correspondence dated July 8th, and they made a positive recommendation for it. And most of what's in it is the same thing that's going to be in my motion. They mentioned the zone, it is an AR5 zone. They mentioned it's a 0.49 acre non-conforming lot. They mentioned it's not within the scenic and historic protection overlay district or the County State Parkway view shed or the ridge line. And one, they mentioned that, they said it's in a critical environmental area. They did mention 4 variances. In my motion, I say that they don't need 4, they only need 3, but we'll address that in the motion. And basically, they're saying there would be no undesirable change. Small lot means they can't achieve this without the variances being granted. The proposed variance should not have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental condition of the neighborhood, and the alleged difficulty is self-created, but should not necessarily preclude the granting. It was voted, and it passed 7-0, positive recommendation by the planning board.
Okay. Do you have any comments or questions as we?
The only comments I have is, as the gentleman and his wife spoke, I went up and I met both of them, looked at the property, and as they mentioned, the road level is where the house is, but it drops off quite drastically in the back, and the only area where it's level is where they want to put the pool, and they did show me where the septic system is to the other side of the house, so that negates that, and basically that's the only viable option they have is the location that they've asked for this variance.
Okay, great. Any other further discussion or questions from members of the board? No?
No.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to open the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Any comments at this time from the public? All right, I'd like to make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Any other further discussion from the board?
Correspondence or anything from neighbors?
No.
All right, Russ, your motion.
I hereby motion that the Town of Clinton Zoning Board of Appeals grant area variances requested by Kathleen Blank, 132 Old Bull's Head Road, tax grid 6469-00-913517 from section 250 attachment 8, table 2, reducing the side yard setback from 50 feet to approximately 15 feet, the rear yard setback from 75 feet to approximately 25 feet, and the maximum building coverage from 7% to approximately 99% for the installation of an in-ground pool and spa. Parcel is in a non-conforming lot of 0.49 acres in an AR5 district. Factors. The applicant requests variances to reduce the side yard setback from the required 50 feet to approximately 15 feet, the rear yard setback from the required 75 feet to approximately 25 feet, and the maximum building coverage to approximately 9% where the current allowed is 7% in order to install an in-ground pool and spa. There is also requested a variance to reduce the front yard setback from 100 feet to 70 feet. However, this is not required. Section 250-22A3, accessory structure states, no such structure shall project closer to the fronting street than the principal building on the lot or the required front yard setback for the district, whichever shall be less restrictive. In this instance, the proposed pool is farther from the fronting street than the principal building, which is the home, and therefore doesn't need a variance for the front yard setback. The property is an existing non-conforming lot of 0.49